Hello, everybody. It's Helen McConnell here from helenmcconnell.com. Welcome to this week's edition of our Courage Card tapping session. Today's Courage card has been pre-selected. I'm going to tell you what it is, and then I'll tell you a little bit about it. I'll read you the back of the card, and we'll do a little bit of tapping. So today's Courage card is Welcome Wellness. Isn't that great? I'm a big proponent of wellness, so I really like that. So now I'm going to read the back of the Courage card that says Welcome Wellness. It says, Wellness is the steady practice of nourishing your body, mind, and spirit. It comes from the choices that restore energy, build resilience, and create harmony. Prioritize deep rest, move in ways that feel good, and fuel yourself with wholesome food. Open to support, knowing you don't have to do it all alone. The way you care for yourself will revitalize and sustain you. That's just such a great courage card. Like, what a great reminder. When we have wellness, when we have good health, life is just better. When we don't have good health, which some people can't avoid, it can make life much more distressing and difficult, and it can keep us from doing the things we really want to do. So, how do we welcome wellness? One of the best ways I know to stay well is to tap on a daily basis. Several times a day is even better. And when I say tap, it doesn't have to be a long session. It can be 1 minute or 2 minutes or 3 minutes, or maybe a little longer. But in that amount of time, this simple act of tapping on the side of one's hand, either way, has been shown in studies, research studies, to lower cortisol levels. That means less stress. And when we have less stress, we're much more creative. We can think of creative new things. We can be open to new ideas that drop in. When we're not in such high stress, our body is healthier. When we're under stress, our body shuts down. There's so many of our functions that just shut down because the body is preparing for fight or flight. And a lot of times we're just stressed. We're not really in fight or flight. We don't really need to be in fight or flight. We don't need to have the full onslaught of fight or flight. We just need to rest and receive, rest and rejuvenate. Let's look at this courage card and pick out a phrase or two to tap with. All right. What if I said to you to say out loud, I'm open to support. I know I don't have to do everything. Just notice what that brings up for you. And we're going to tap on that, okay? And you can just go like this, say, even though, and you can repeat that, even though I used to think I have to do everything, especially when it comes to my wellness. Okay? I love and accept myself. And I choose to recognize that I don't have to do it alone. Right, and then you can just keep tapping there on the side of the hand. I just switched hands. You can say, even though I used to think I was on my own, especially when it comes to wellness. But I choose to recognize that I don't have to do it alone. And one more time, even though I used to think I had to do everything when it comes to taking care of me. And now I'm loving and accepting myself. And I'm realizing that I don't have to do it all. I can ask for help. I can work with nature. I can work with God. All right, now we're going to just tap around the points, go to the top of the head and say, my wellness. Just tap on the eyebrow and say, my well-being. Side of the eye. My health and wellness. Under the eye. I'm working towards my health and wellness. Under the nose. I like being healthy. On the chin. I like having wellness. Collarbone. I embrace my health and wellness. Under the arm. It's safe for me to be well. And that might activate a few things for you when you say that. It's safe for me to be well. Just really think about that. And I'll talk to that in just a sec. And go to the top of the head and say, I deserve to be well. And on the eyebrow. I have power over my wellness. Side of the eye. I'm choosing wellness. Under the eye. I'm feeling well. Under the nose. I'm taking really good care of myself. On the chin. Every day in every way, I'm taking good care of myself. Collarbone. I'm choosing wellness now. Under the arm. Wellness is the foundation of my good life. Okay, just take a deep breath there. And I invite you right now to just notice anything that came up for you as we were tapping. And that thing where I said it's safe for me to be well, that comes from a long history of me working with people who had what one woman described to me as vacation surgery. She said to me one time, this is a long time ago, she was going to have back surgery. I'm like, God, do you really have to have back surgery? That's so severe. And she said, well, it's the only way I know of to take a month off from work and have my boss be okay about it. She was honest and said it. But how many of us have that kind of feeling like I can't even take some time for myself unless I have something really severe going on? It's not a requirement. And if you're in that kind of situation, I'm not telling you to get yourself fired or anything, but I remember the time I had a job where my boss used to encourage us on a regular basis, once or twice a quarter to take a day off. Just call in sick, call out. We didn't call in sick, we called in well and took a wellness day. And this is what we all need to be doing. This idea that you have to work 5 days a week, 8 to 10 hours a day, sometimes on the weekend, and only take time off if you're sick. Well, I promise you, you will get sick more often if that's your if those are the rules at your workplace. So ask yourself, what if I could just be well? What if I could take a day off and be well? And that doesn't have to be your vacation. And just say that phrase, what if I could take a day off and be well? That might give you some new things to tap about. If you've noticed anything that, somebody once told me I couldn't do that, or my parents never did that, or that's not okay in my family, you start tapping on whatever comes up for you. Okay. Because wellness is crucial. It's critical. It's really important. And if you are unwell, if you have a chronic disease or something, I'm not saying, oh, you should be better. But I invite you to clear all of this other stuff so that your body can heal. If it's going to heal, it can do it because you can't do it. Your body gets to do it when it feels safe and rested and secure enough and supported enough to actually do it. All right, take a nice deep breath. And I look forward to seeing you next time on our Tapping for Courage Cards episode next week. Take care, everybody.